Hello everyone, welcome to today's news starter. So let's begin with the prelims practice question of the day, and then we'll move to be solved very carefully. Because all the three statements provided here are extreme statements. Generally, there is an idea that when you get an extreme statement, the probability of that statement being correct is very less. But if you look at this question, all the three statements are extreme statements. So it is very difficult to come up with an elimination method or elimination technique and eliminate one or two options. That's not possible in this question. So let's take a look at the option. Asiatic lions are naturally found in India only. They are telling that Asiatic lions are only in India. Second, a double-humped camel is naturally found in India only. One horned rhinoceros is naturally found in India only. Here, Asiatic lions, it's very simple. Gir forest is there, Asiatic lions are there, and it is found only in India, which is a very general, a normal general knowledge statement. So that option is correct. A double-humped camel is called as the Bactrian camel. Bactrian is the region which is in the Middle East. So this option is not the correct option. One-horned rhinoceros are found in Indonesia. So this is also not a right option. So the answer is one only. So for such questions, be very careful and solve it only based on your knowledge. Let's move to the first topic of the day. Green Credit Initiative or the Global Green Credit Initiative, which was started by India and United Arab Emirates in COP28, which happened in Dubai. This particular initiative is extremely important. So the Global Green Credit Initiative was started by India and the United Arab Emirates with an idea or with an aim to voluntarily incentivize those pro-planet actions. Pro-planet actions are actions such as afforestation or solar related initiatives or any conventional activities which will result in a reduction of climate change. So for this initiative, we need to provide some incentives for the people who are involved in such initiative. That is where Global Green Credit Initiative comes up. So we will be providing the credit. That we means the government. The government will be providing credit to those people who are involved in such activities. Because if I'm involved in afforestation activity, it is very difficult for me to tap the credit which I can get from the banks or from any other opportunities. Tapping credit becomes very difficult, so that's why we have come up with this plan. Here, it will also act as a platform for dialogue, as a platform for policy making also. Primary focus will be on water conservation, afforestation. So these two things are going to be the primary concern, and most of the credit will flow to these two initiatives. Creating a land inventory for afforestation is a very important function here. The government of India will create a land inventory where it will be mentioned what are all the different types of lands classified in the country, their vegetation, what kind of land it is. So everyone will get to know where we have wastelands, where we have arid lands. So where in these lands we can go and do some afforestation. Green credit is assigned to specific actions will be tradable commodities. So this particular point is very important. In prelims, these kind of statements you can expect. Whether the global green credit is a tradable commodity or not. So it is tradable in nature. You can trade it, you can get the credit and you can give it to someone else. You can trade it, allowing them to be sold in domestic market platforms. So it is an initiative by India and United Arab Emirates. It was launched in COP28, and we are going to give credit to certain initiatives. The major initiatives are afforestation and water conservation, and these instruments are tradable. These are all the important points which you can expect in prelims examination. India UAE partnership. So in the recent times, India and United Arab Emirates partnership have increased to a greater extent. So we need to know the basics of it so that in mains examination, if you are getting a question, you can easily answer. The bilateral trade grew to $85 billion in 2022-23, making UAE India's third largest trading partner. The first and second are China and United States of America. So UAE is the third biggest trading partner of India. And UAE serve as India's second largest export destination. Based on India's exports, it is UAE which is the second largest export destination. India UAE have already signed a comprehensive economic partnership agreement in 2022. Comprehensive economic partnership is not a complete free trade agreement. Comprehensive economic partnership means both the countries will try to reduce the duties which are placed on their imports, right? So that is what comprehensive economic partnership is. Maybe in future it can become a bilateral free trade agreement also. RuPay card is accepted in United Arab Emirates. So this is a very important news which you should be remembering. RuPay card is accepted here. In Dubai airport, you can even pay with rupee. That facility has also been introduced. India and UAE also operationalized rupee dirham settlement system. Because if you have a rupee dirham settlement system, UAE can pay India on with rupee, and India can pay UAE with dirhams. So we do not have to depend on the US dollar. So this will reduce the transaction cost. This will reduce the dependence on United States dollar for both the countries. So it is a good initiative. I2U2 is a very important grouping which was inaugurated very recently. I2U2 is India, Israel, United States of America, and United Arab Emirates. So these four countries have come together and they have started a partnership. And I2U2 is also called as the West Asian Quad. So this grouping is going to improvise in future. They are going to increase their economic cooperation. They are going to improve their strategic and military cooperation also. But the recent ongoing war between Israel and Palestine has resulted in making this group a non-starter. But in the near future, it will become very famous and we will increase our cooperation also to a greater extent. UAE is also part of India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor. So India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor was launched in G20 in 2023. So in this, India is going to get connected directly to the Middle East through ocean and then railway lines, and from Middle East to the Europe. So UAE plays a major role in this also. All these points should be remembered, and if you are getting a question in mains about India UAE partnership, you can mention all these points. Event Horizon Telescope. You need to know what is Event Horizon Telescope. We have studied and we have discussed about the black hole multiple times. So let's not get into the details of black holes. But about this telescope, certain important points should be remembered. It has been in news multiple times, especially in the year 2019, 2022, they have been in news regularly. So we need to study about it. What is Event Horizon Telescope? Event Horizon Telescope is not a single telescope. It is a network of synchronized radio observatories. Totally 8 telescopes all around the world are placed. These 8 telescopes will observe a single event. They will focus on a single object or an astronomical event from 8 different places all over the world. So when you combine the data of all the 8 telescopes, the error will be very less and accuracy will be extremely high. So this is why Event Horizon Telescope was able to chart down or able to come up with the image of a black hole. So Event Horizon Telescope imaged Sagittarius A, that is a black hole at the center of the Milky Way. This happened long back, not in the recent times, but it was a great achievement. So the imaged Sagittarius A looks like this. Here the central point is the black hole, and whatever is surrounding the central black hole is the event horizon. So event horizon is the region which is surrounding the black hole when you enter the event horizon. When any object, even a light, if it is entering the event horizon, it will get sucked up completely. There is no point of escape. That means the gravitational force will keep increasing, and in the central point of the black hole, the gravitational force will be extremely high. So this is why it is called as the point of no return. So it is impossible to escape the gravitational force at this point. And this is the reason we call this telescope also as Event Horizon Telescope. Black holes are completely invisible because it takes in all the light. When do we get a picture? We get a picture when light falls on the body and then reflects back so that we can observe with our eye. That's when we get a picture. But here in black hole, nothing escapes. Even light do not escape. Light get absorbed inside completely. So how do we map or how do we come up with an image of a black hole? It is very simple. When all the light and all the bodies get sucked up inside, the energy which these bodies have, it get converted into electromagnetic radiation. So it is by focusing on this electromagnetic radiation, we are able to chart down the image of the black hole. What is accretion disk? These words or terms which I'm telling, they are extremely important. Event horizon is an important term. What is event horizon? Telescope, this is also very important. This point is extremely important. The first point, it is extremely important. What is accretion disk? This point is also very, very important. Around some supermassive black hole is a disk of gas and dust. Due to extreme gravity, this disk glows. So just like this, it keeps glowing because when the energy gets sucked up, the energy is also emitted in the form of a disk. It is called as accretion disk. So these points should be remembered for your examination. For prelims, they might ask questions from this. Mains question of the day: India is in collaboration with several partner countries to promote the idea of sustainable development and prevention of global warming. Evaluate. Here, we need to identify the multiple partnership India is having with different countries. For example, with France and more than 120 countries, we have International Solar Alliance. With UAE, we have launched the initiative which we were discussing earlier about India and UAE. So, in the same way, India has launched several initiatives with multiple different countries for sustainable development. India is also a member of G20. India is an observer state under G7. So, because of this, we try to emulate a lot of sustainable development steps. These things you should be mentioning. India is also a member of a party to COP, Conference of Parties under UNFCCC. So that also should be mentioned. So all these, whatever steps India have taken internationally towards sustainable development, that has to be mentioned. You can mention about the life initiative also, lifestyle for environment. So all these initiatives should be mentioned in this question. From mains point of view, these points are extremely important. You can make use of these points in your answer also. Under GS1, under GS2, women empowerment is very important. Sorry. So what are these points? You can take a note of it. You can mention it in your answer when you are getting such questions in mains. About women empowerment, when you have to tell in the exam that women's position in the recent times has been increasing, you cannot just quote or you cannot just give a statement. You have to quote certain data so that it is beyond doubt that your points are valid, your points are correct. So there has been an increase in female labor force participation. Earlier it was 23.3 in 2017-2018. Now it has become 37% in 2022-23. So from 23% to 37%, it is a huge rise within 4 years. So it was done by the periodic labor force survey. This point should be noted down. Female enrollment in higher education, not school education, in higher education. It has gone up by 28% in the last 10 years. That is important. Female enrollment in STEM, that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, is 43%. It is higher than several European countries. So this point is very important. Even within rural India, more women are engaged in employment through self-help groups. Around 9 crore women are involved in self-help groups. So these points are extremely important for your answers. One important concept from prelims point of view, that is gravitational lensing. According to the general theory of relativity of Einstein, Einstein do not consider time and space to be separate entities. According to Albert Einstein, time and space are single entity. They are known as time-space continuum. It is called as space-time. So, according to Einstein, science, that is, space and time are not separate entities. He called it as space-time. So, Einstein said that when a very massive body is there in the space, it wraps the space around it. It it makes the space around this body to be curvature, to be a curvature. So this is what we call as gravitational lensing. The concept is very simple. When a very big body, like for example Earth, a very big body, Sun, a very big body, black holes, big bodies. When such big bodies are there, what he is telling is the gravitational field around it itself will be very high. So because of this, what happens is the space-time get wrapped. The space-time will not be the same. It will get wrapped or it will become a curvature. So there will be a change in space-time. This is what Einstein told. So massive object cause space-time to curve and gravity is simply the curvature of space-time. The path taken by light will also be curved because it is the space and time that is curved completely. And light travels through space and time. When the medium is curved, then light will also be curved, right? So this is why when we note certain things with our telescope, we do not get the exact location because it is curved in nature. The light is not passing through a straight medium, it is passing through a curved medium. So extremely massive celestial bodies such as galaxy clusters cause space-time to be significantly curved. So this is gravitational lensing. When a huge body is there, the gravitational field around it will be extremely high, because of which the space-time will be curved in nature. So whenever light passes through this space-time, the light will also be curved in nature. That will be all for today. All the best, study well. Let's meet tomorrow with the most important news of tomorrow.